All right. So after wading through again the stuff that I was talking about in the last video, let's talk about the news of the day. So the Philadelphia Flyers, who stood to lose Nick Cousins as an expansion pick by the Vegas Golden Knights, have moved him to Arizona. Philly gets a fifth-round pick, unsigned forward prospect Brendan Warren, and the Flyers also sent unsigned goaltending prospect Merrick Madsen to Arizona. I haven't heard of either of these guys. Um, it's a move that Philly makes based on the fact that uh, you know 2018 15th or 2018 fifth round draft pick is fine for a guy that Nick Cousins wasn't a key guy and it didn't look like he was going to be. And prior to even being in the NHL, there was a lot of rumors about his attitude and about problems he was having. And odds are Philly saw Vegas taking him. That was a guy that I thought Vegas was likely to take. And so they go to Arizona. And Arizona's not a team that's flush with players that they're eager to protect. It's pretty thin up front and on the blue line for Arizona because a lot of their key players are prospects or first or second year guys. So they don't need to protect them. So Cousins goes to Arizona. We'll get a shot. If anything, the GM in Arizona, Chake, has shown that he is willing to take on guys who may have not a great reputation. I think of Chikrin as the example. Chikrin was a guy that there were plenty who said, well, he has the talent, but does he have the heart? There's a lot of talk about his attitude and whatnot. So, again, Arizona looks like they're willing to take on a guy who may or may not have had a problem, and sometimes this stuff gets overblown. But Philly doesn't come away with nothing. And that's a lot of what we're going to see over the next few days. Now, this doesn't justify being a video by itself, so let's look at what else is going on. Sergachev. Well, Montreal trades him to Tampa, and apparently he learned about the trade on Twitter. I hate it when I find out that a player learned about a trade not through his GM. To me, it just seems like it's the logical step. You call, in this case, you're Mark Bergevin, you're calling Steve Yzerman, you're saying, all right, we're going to do this deal. I'm going to call Sergachev and let him know. Okay. I agree on the deal. We agree on the deal. I'll call you back. We can publicly announce this deal after I've talked to him. Call Sergachev, says, you're a great young defenseman. You're going to be a great NHLer. I apologize to tell you this, but you're now a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was a move we felt we had to make. And, best of luck in your future endeavors. And you're done with the phone call. The idea that a young kid finds out he's been traded on Twitter, it doesn't make the organization look very good. It doesn't make Bergevin look very good. And I've defended Bergevin, when everybody was ready to rake him over the coals last summer over the PK Subban deal. I defended that deal, and I still do. And the moves he's made since then I've defended. But, how do you not tell a player that he's been traded before it's come out in media? Especially Twitter. I mean, make a phone call. Don't complete the trade until you've let a guy know he's being traded. To me, it seems like it makes perfect sense. Yeah, I've watched Moneyball. Maybe guys who watch Moneyball think they're GMs. No. I just, again, people are complaining about Bergevin and his loyalty. And it is true. PK Subban won't be traded. Gone. Michel Therrien's got a job here. Gone. Sergachev? I'm not trading Sergachev. He's a really, really good prospect. Gone. Note to Alex Galchenyuk. Pack your bags now. But I wonder, when you see this kind of stuff, I wonder what Carey Price thinks about all this. When he sees this kind of stuff going on, does he think, yeah, I want to stay long-term in Montreal, or does he think, geez, I wonder. Like, does he Does he sign in Montreal before the season and sign a long-term deal and this whole conversation goes away? Or does he go to Marc Bergevin and go, you know what, I'm going to test the market next summer. I'm likely to stay in Montreal, but I want to see what somebody else is willing to offer. I want to see what's out there. I couldn't blame him if he felt that way. I really couldn't. And again, I've done my best to defend him, but it gets tougher and tougher. And the other news of the day is that injured Simon Dupre of the Mighty Ducks. They're still the Mighty Ducks to me. The Anaheim Ducks have started buying out Simon Dupre. It is a crying shame. When Dupre was traded to Anaheim by Pittsburgh, we all thought Pittsburgh was insane. Dupre showed all the signs of being a fantastic top four defenseman, and after arriving in Anaheim, he was just on fire. He was playing fantastic. It's a well-known fact I'm not a Ducks fan. That being said, he was my favorite Ducks defenseman at the time. Injuries like this happen. It is a shame when you read the list of guys who are injured or have been injured and likely aren't going to play in the NHL again, because there's a lot of talent there that's probably never going to see the ice again. But it is nature of the game. So I guess Dupre has two options here. He's 25. He's not over the hill. But depending on the nature of his injury, he either says, well, I feel like I can contribute, and he signs an entry-level type deal somewhere else. He signs a deal for $600,000, $700,000 a year. And then, of course, the flip side is if he doesn't feel he's up to doing a show-me contract where he, signs for very little money to prove he can still play, he retires. Dupre, I never heard a bad word about him. He seems like the kind of kid that, if he retires at a young age, he'll find a way. I think of guys like Gary Roberts as an example. Roberts didn't retire young. Don't get me wrong. Don't jump ahead. When Roberts was out of the game, he still found a way to help players. And there are always organizations looking for players to help with conditioning, with any kind of assistant coaching kind of thing, training kind of thing. Dupre will have those options. He seems to me, in any interviews I ever saw with him, and in any games of his I ever saw, he seemed like a smart player. And I think he'll land on his feet here regardless of what happens. And it is a shame. It is. As a big Bruins fan who watched Marc Savard watch his career ended prematurely, it sucks. It sucks to watch that happen. And Cam Neely as well was another example. But it is part of the nature of the game. When a game's played this fast and it's this physical, there's going to be guys who suffer concussions that don't come back, guys who suffer back injuries that don't come back. Any recurring injury could potentially become career-threatening if it goes on for long enough. Concussions, it doesn't take very many. And this is a conversation I've had many, many times on this channel. I'm not having it right now. So, not a huge news day, but we are building up to something here. We are going to find out very quickly who was exposed for the expansion draft. I believe we find that out Sunday. And then we'll find out who they took on the 21st. So, and that's during the award show. I believe the award show starts at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern. And we'll see what happens from there. So thank you very much for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And I'll be talking to you guys again soon.